Well, actually, bringing the benefits of technology to our industrial customers can provide a huge number of benefits. We start with aiming to improving the manufacturing process efficiency. We also aim at lowering the sustainable impacts of the production process. We have in mind to keep people and data safe. And of course, all this needs to be resulting in lowering the costs.
Of course, it always comes down to cost, doesn't it?
Sure.
And I think as well, we do that by bringing together our teams of technical experts and working with the customers in order to achieve those benefits with the different solutions we offer. Well, we bring together quite a number of our different expertise to achieve these solutions. So the main one for me is data. We have business apps that we analyse data, but also looking at the data itself with AI and data analytics. It's all about the data. But of course you have to process that data. So we've got incredible capability in cloud and data centres themselves, and understanding the balance of on-premise, hybrid or public cloud, because a lot of our customers don't want to have their data in a cloud, but they don't know where it is, and run the risk of having it off-site.
But things are changing, right?
It's an ever-changing experience for different customers as they go on a maturity curve of understanding.
True. And prior to processing, prior to storing, we need to gather the data. We need to collect them and transport them in a secure way. That's all about the networking part, which is on-prem, of course, but which can be also wireless, which can go through P5G, private 5G, for instance. And all this data infrastructure needs to be fully cyber secure. That's the heart.
Of course. And I think as well, what's important for me is when we are doing this network connections, we might be doing that on a physical basis, and that can often be in a hazard environment, either factory or even some nuclear. And bringing the safety of our people that are achieving these projects as well is absolutely the heart of our business.
Through our teams, we have lots of specialization in different sectors. We are capable of addressing the challenges in feed, food, beverage industry, as well as in chemical industry, life science, automotive, and many others. It's about process knowledge, and it's about expertise knowledge. Additionally, we not only do we address the headquarter of our customers, but we also take into account the whole factory approach together with the whole supply chain.
And I think as well, what's important for me is we really try and create partnerships with our customers. It's a bit of an overused phrase, but I think it's really important here. So we do that by really working with them on the long-term benefits of some of our solutions and really trying to create long-term partnerships. But I think we can back that up because we have got customers that have been with us for many decades actually. And the other thing, and the reason why I really like working and talking to customers about our approach in Axians, is because we've got these human-sized businesses that are experts that interact with our customers, but we also have this incredibly huge network behind us all over the world, and that means we can really bring personal touches to our customers but then deliver to all their global sites and factories all over the world. I think it's really, really powerful.
You're right, Russell, and this is really part of our DNA, and we are quite proud to share it. Well, the best is to answer with real-world examples of how we've been supporting and helping our customers in their digital transformation. Let's start with Portugal with a nice case, Russell.
Very good idea. Real world examples to explain what we're doing. So we're working with one of our customers who is a manufacturer of baked goods in Portugal, as you mentioned, and what we've been doing there is pulling data out of their production line systems, overlaying it with their different ERP and similar systems, and really finding ways of making their production lines more efficient And that's using a number of techniques with algorithms on the data, but of course using a bit of AI in there as well. And that's really bringing benefits to their production line, back to the cost efficiencies you mentioned earlier. But also we're helping them understand their environmental impact of some of these production line systems as well.
And cost impact.
Of course, it always goes down to cost.
Another example we can share with you is the one that comes from the Netherlands. It's also still related to food industry, actually. So it's about a dairy group which has factories all over the world. And actually it's a common project between the Netherlands and Belgium. So our teams have been combining their forces, and also together with our industry brand called Actemium within VINCI Energies. So it's really about answering the need of the customer to be building, standardizing a secured IT and OT infrastructure. We'll come back to that later. So it's about providing data center and network expertise. And the idea is to really ensure the operational continuity, to really be building the industrial resilience of that customer.
And I think building on that security part of the industrial data, I've got a good example which is in the pharmaceutical area, and this is another customer of ours based out of the UK but with offices all over the world and production lines all over the world. And what we're doing for them is we've created a managed service where we're working with them for the next 3 years, hopefully more, where we're actually monitoring the security of their operational technology network with security experts that are seeing what's happening on their OT network and analysing it for threats and impacts, and then working with the customer to resolve those. And we see that very much as an increasing demand in our market as more and more customers use more and more data that could be taken away from.
Good, and very important to notice through the examples that of course we are talking about conceiving, designing solutions dedicated to our customers. We are also in the phase of deployment for our customers, but additionally we can help them and go on with a partnership, with a strong relationship based on maintenance services and additional services that really lightens the part of IT and OT. So they really can stay focused on their core industry processes and challenges.
That's back to that partnership piece we mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So from some of the work that we do is quite new. So working on what can, for example, AI bring to a customer, and then working through together how to actually bring that to reality, and then doing the design, the implementation, the support, and then the ongoing service, and then working on the next project there afterwards. That's an interesting use of the phrase gap, because I think historically there's always been a physical gap and separation between IT networks and OT networks, but really today that doesn't exist anymore. And we can actually show that as well as one of our solutions, but that's another topic. But I think there are two real gaps today that still are a challenge to our industrial customers.
For sure. The first one is about the speed, about the pace of OT versus IT. So let's remember that OT is about the technologies that are processed on the shop floor, and they are built for decades, right? Sometimes up to 50 years when it comes to nuclear plants. So this is really something for which the IT guys have to understand the mindset. We are no longer talking about patches and updates every 3 months. This doesn't work. So first topic is about pace. And second one, it's very important because it's about people. It's about the cultural difference between the teams, their background and their main missions and goals. And they are very, very different. So how to solve this key problem? We have a solution, right?
I think so, and I think we are unique in the marketplace of how we do this, because we talked today about Axians. We've been experts in IT for many decades, but we have a sister company as part of the same team that we work incredibly closely with called Actemium. And these have been our industrial specialists for decades, even 100 years plus. And it's by bringing these two parts of our business together, learning together, understanding how we bring IT knowledge to our industrial processes, and that pace of change as well means that when we go and talk to customers, I think we can help them bridge their gaps as well, from the technology, but also from bringing their disparate teams together and helping them achieve their results as well.
It looks like a mirroring effect of our own teams working together at the customer side and for their own benefit at the end of the day. That's quite a unique combination on the market, right?
And we're part of the same group, we work for the same people, we work for the same shareholders, but also we share the same values as well. And that trust that customers have in us is prolific throughout both of our parts of our business.
And still we can provide this kind of single point of contact.
Exactly.
One of our two brands remaining the main interface and interlocutor with a lot of trust and long-time partnership.
5 years. So 5 years in IT is just a huge amount of time, because we just see IT changing so quickly. You wake up in the morning and something new's happened and you're reacting and responding to it. But interestingly, in an OT environment, an industrial environment, 5 years is just but a blink of an eye, because they work on such longer terms. So that's quite a difficult question, I find.
True. And, bringing new technologies to industrial systems cannot be disruptive at all.
No.
To the main mission, which is the production line in the industry. And it always has to bear in mind the functional safety at its core.
Always.
So we have this basic and stable environment, and we also have to notice that there is such an increase in the cybersecurity moving at pace that the governance also needs to be differently conceived and evolving, and it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, governance is increasing all the time, but I do think that it's that data analytics that will really advance in the next 5 years. We can pull data, we are pulling data out of legacy systems as well as new systems, and then once we have that, we can analyse that in a safe way without impacting production and give information back to our customers.
True. So we are talking about the industry of the future in 5 years, close future. You are referring to what we can be building for the new factories there, greenfield, a lot to be done, a lot of digital transformation.
The dream is to have a completely dark factory where there's no lights, no people, no health and safety concerns, and everything is automated. And that alleviates some of the pressures of finding people that can do some of these monotonous factory working environments as well. So 5 years time, I don't think so. Maybe a greenfield site.
Yeah, but they will be all existing sites, brownfield sites as we call them, and those brownfield sites, this industry are really running daily, and they are the one making the production happen. And we have to think of them, and we have to think of the legacy equipment that remain and that we have to update, and where we have to bring the digital transformation as well. Quite a challenge.
So lots of challenges and lots of change there. So I just wonder how are we as Axians going to stay ahead of that curve, I wonder.
Yeah, that's a very good question. We have key assets. We have mentioned this combination of experts team between the IT and the OT teams. That's a very good reason to stay ahead of the curve. Another very important reason is the strong partnership, built on the trust that we have with our customers. They make us stay very grounded, and as we are able to stay local but also to see things from a network perspective at an international level, that's also what we can bring to them.
Perfect.